What's up guys, it's Jam1000 here today to do a bit of a tips and tricks video. Bit different on this one. It's going to be rain-proofing your gear. Mike from TechBB made a video a while back about how to rain-proof your gear if you're going to go play in the rain. And I still feel like it's pretty relevant to today, but I'm just going to go over kind of what I do and the things that I feel like a couple changes here and there of what I think you should do. So we're going to just go over, what you got to do to your gun, your gear, hopper, barrel, all that stuff. And this is how I do it. And I'm going to give little tips and tricks as we go along. So tip number one, when you're playing in the rain, don't play in the rain. Simple as that. It's just, if you have a mandatory practice and you're at a tournament, that's an exception. But if you're just going out for a fun day, I would not play in the rain, just because if you get anything inside your gun, any water or anything like that, it's just going to have a bad time and bust stuff up. So I just recommend to not do it. But if you have to, here's the tips that I would do. So moving on to number two. If you notice, there's something different about the GO3 here. Inside, what I do is I tape up the inside of the grips to kind of cover up the board. Now, I didn't do a very good job because I'm actually not playing. I just kind of want to show you how I do it. But basically just take tape like so, electrical tape you'll need, and you just kind of, wrap it around, and then when you get up to these spots up in here, you just gotta cut one piece, kind of drape it across. You want it to go all the way up to the screw as well, kind of just go over top of here, and do it on the other side. And so you have these screw holes open, so when you do put your grips back on, it's just going to seal it nice together, and you're also going to have the tape inside there. Now you can get intricate and cut out the board and cut out the buttons and everything like that, but if you set up your board prior to the day before, and as you see here, the Plain Eclipse boards, it's already on, and I already know it's in PSP 12.4. See there. So if you set it up prior, you're not really going to have to worry about too much stuff. And simple as that. Alright, so that's basically what I do with the gun. Moving on to the barrel. This is by far one of probably the more important things I'd say you have to do. You want to tape up the ports of your barrel. How you do this is you take some electrical tape. I already did it, but I'll kind of just quickly show you because I didn't do it very good. You take some tape, like so. Take your barrel and just kind of start at the top. Do one loop around, like so, and then start spiraling down and make sure you cover up all the ports. It doesn't have to be that good of a job unless you really want to get intricate with it, but you just want to make sure, honestly, that after that all you gotta do is have the ports covered up so rain doesn't get inside of the barrel. Because what happens when that happens is you'll shoot your paint and it'll break, or it won't shoot straight, or it's not gonna work. The only thing you're gonna notice when you do this is your gun will sound a lot louder. The GO3 itself is a pretty quiet marker, but it sounded like a cannon with this. It's just because the ports kind of releases the air kind of before it has that one big out the barrel. It just kind of disperses it all the way through to have a quieter shot. But if you're just saving all that room until one big burst out, it's gonna be a fair bit louder. But you'd rather shoot straight and louder than not shoot at all, so that's what I recommend. Moving on to the mask. Let me just grab this one over here. What I would recommend doing is getting a mask or buying a visor for your mask. I do not use this mask. It's kind of just an old school Extreme Rage mask, but it has a visor. And it just kind of helps so you don't get any rain on the lens as much, because you're going to have be looking straight, and rain's going to be hitting here and not getting on the front of the lens. Also, most of these visors cover up this back part here. This one doesn't very well. But as you see in here, you want these holes covered, because if you get rain inside the lens, it's just going to be a bad time. You're going to have to stick a cloth underneath your mask, and I hate doing that. It just wastes so much time. And if you really want to, take some electrical tape, or any kind of tape in this sense, and just cover up these ventilation points here. Just helps out with preventing from rain. Also, I'm going to show you a quick tip if you don't have a visor, but you have a hat, what you're going to do. And I got this clip from yesterday, so this is what I do when I go to play, and I think it looks kind of cool. Alrighty, so what I have here is I have my profilers, and I have just a standard baseball cap. What you want to do for this situation is take your mask, put it all the way over around your neck, take the hat, put it on, But then when you bring your mask up, this will be the hardest part, but just bring it up, bring the strap up, and as you see here, you kind of have your own little homemade visor. You can have your headband underneath here so it stays a bit more secure, or put a headband over top so it doesn't wobble around. Usually with different masks this can work. I know with the i3s, fortunately they're lost, but with the i3s, you can just kind of put it over, like, you know, the whole entire thing will stay on secure. But as you see here, you kind of got that visor going on. So you're not going to have any rain going inside, and it's going to kind of block that area. So that's what I do when I don't have a visor with my mask. Just put a baseball cap on, you're all ready to go. Alright, so we're back at the table, and I'm going to give a couple last tips is with the hopper. Now here's where it gets important is you're going to have a speed feed, and say if you don't have a lid, I took off the color kit for this, but if you don't have a lid, it's not going to work very well, I find, to put a bag over. I just don't do that. It doesn't make sense to me. So what I do is, if you don't have a lid, you kind of got to improvise. Now, best way I'd say is just go buy a lid, because doing this may not be the best. But, you know, overall, I feel like this, if you just go buy a lid, you're going to save money, you're going to, you know, save time and effort and all that stuff. But here's how it works. Now, if you don't have a lid, I guess you could say, that isn't functioning, then you're gonna have to do this. I found this old lid for a rotor in my gear bag, so most people should save these, but you'll find you may lose the pin in the spring, and this is how I do it when I just want to put a quick lid on the night before. Now, the things you will need are pliers with sort of a wire cutter, as you see on the bottom here, and, you know, a lid obviously, and an Allen key that can fit in between the slot of this lid. Now, here's the piece I have. I don't know the exact size, it's just a small Allen key, but as you see, it slips in perfectly into there. As you see, it just slips in just like so. And you want to cut it, best way I can describe it is just have it a little bit shorter. Let's see if it will focus. A little bit shorter, a little bit longer than the slit in the rotor color kit. So here's where it gets tricky. I would honestly recommend just buying your own lid, or buying a new speed feed with a rain lid mod or something like that. Like HK does a good job at that, because it's just, this isn't the best way, but if it's kind of an improvisation I used, and it worked okay. So what you want to do is take your lid, throw it on the color kit. All right, take your Allen key piece. You just want to put it like you regularly would with the pin. This is where it gets a bit tricky. You kind of want to just like snuggle it in there. It gets hard here. See if I can get it. That's why I kind of apply it. You can just push it a little bit. Right, so I do have it in. That's it. Just try to push it through. Start putting yourself. There we go. I think I almost got it. Yep, there we go. Awesome. So, as you see here, I got the lid on, and it does pop open, so if you want to, you take your rotor here, just screw the color kit back on, and as you see here, just pretending it is, you kind of got this lid with the speed feed, so when it is raining, you just keep it closed, and then when you got to reload, it will pop open, not very spring forward, but it will sit there, reload, close it up. I just think it helps, so it prevents it from, you know, rain getting in. But I will show you why I would recommend just buying your own lid, is because, as you see here, to do this, I really don't mind, because this is an older color kit, and it does the job still, but the pinhole areas, see if we focus, yep, the pinhole areas are pretty wrecked up now. However, it really doesn't matter that much. I'm not going to be using a lid that much. I'll use it for rain, and I think this personally works. So you can do the hustle method, where what they did is they just cut out a slit out of the lid to get it, which worked pretty good. And as you see there, I'm not sure if you noticed, so you just kind of pop it out too, so it works like that if you really don't want to use it. But the hustle paintball guys, what they did is they cut out a little, they kept the pin and they cut out a notch in the lid, and it just stuck on there. I think that's a smarter idea than what I did. But again, if you don't have a Dremel tool, if you don't want to go all out and cut your lid, that's basically what I did. So yeah, that's rainproofing pretty much all your gear. But I'd say definitely the biggest tip of all would just be, just don't do it. You shouldn't be playing in the rain, and especially if you have a pop it. Luckily, I have a closed bolt design spoolie, which basically just you know, single tube. But if you have a poppet and it's stacked and it usually has an open bolt design, if you got water in there or any mechanical marker, it's just going to swell the O-rings, possibly get down on the solenoid, the board, and it's just not going to work very well. Obviously, if you have a mechanical marker, it's not going to do that, but I don't think it's nice to get water in your gun. It just doesn't help out very much. So, and that's pretty much all I got to say, guys. Alright, guys, thank you very much for watching. Before I go, I want to give actually a couple shout-outs here. I want to give my first shout-out to my friend, a good friend of mine, name's Megan Clara. She has a YouTube channel known as Megan Claire 2. It's a bit of a different, it's not paintball related. This is probably the first thing I've said that's not paintball related. But she's been doing YouTube for a bit now. She's hitting, I think, close to 400 subscribers. And it's just nice to have a friend that understands, like, you know, YouTube and kind of the world it is. So it's pretty cool. I like watching a lot of different YouTube channels, such as the Shoutouts, Timothy De La Ghetto, CTFXC, all those guys. I really enjoy it, and so does she. So it's kind of cool to have a friend who actually likes that kind of stuff too. And she makes her own videos, a bit of girly stuff here and there, but hey, if you want to, like, you know, learn some crafts, all that jazz, go check her out. Big supporter of me, and yeah, go do the same. And my second shout out goes to someone who actually brightened up my day yesterday. His name is Ryan Smith. He liked my Facebook page, he subscribed, and he asked me a question on the GO3 and the Lux. Gave him an answer, and then he was explaining I'm just one of his favorite YouTube paintballers, and you don't understand how much that means when you hear somebody, basically, like, you're just another person, but somebody's giving you credit for something you just enjoy doing is really nice. I just appreciate it a lot, so thank you very much, Ryan Smith. It means a lot, and yeah, definitely, that's all I can say, guys. So all I can say is thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to go check out my Facebook page. Check out the contest I have going on. I'll leave a link in the description down below for the Facebook page and the contest. Keep hitting that subscribe button. Give this a thumbs up if you want. And hopefully it's helped, and I hope you have yourselves a great day. See you guys later.
Choosing for you.